Ugh. Oh. Oh, I guess it's that time, isn't it? Greetings to all who wish to be greeted. I'm MegaPacKid, and this is my game shelf. Sorry, I meant to work on a video, but I've been a little sick. I think I did it to myself. I've been staying up late doing research.
And can interact with yourself, but it doesn't generate new timelines. It manages this because in the Harry Potter universe, while you're experiencing your initial pre-time travel passage through a particular point in history, your time-traveling clone is also already there, doing everything you'll eventually do when you time travel yourself.
And burning the candlestick at both ends, trying to hack into time. God darn it! In an attempt to go back to the past. Now, I haven't been taking care of myself, and I need to do that. So maybe instead of working hard to try and literally go back to the past, we can metaphorically go back to the past. With how lucrative the video game industry is today, it can be hard to believe that American consumers wanted nothing to do with it 40 years ago. Believe it or not, the video game industry crashed in 1983. Atari had E.T. the Extraterrestrial buried out in the desert of Alamogordo, Mexico. The ColecoVision had just barely seen the light of day, and the market's oversaturation and lack of quality control meant that retailers did not know which games to keep on store shelves. The industry had burned to the ground, but there was a phoenix ready to rise from the ashes. Nintendo intended to enter the home console market in the United States with the Nintendo Entertainment System, a modified version of their family computer, or Famicom, from Japan. See, because Americans didn't want anything to do with video and game being together, they decided to model it after the VCR, which was very popular at the time, and market it more as a toy, thus giving it the name Nintendo Entertainment System. The system came bundled with a toy robot, light gun, 2 games, 1 for each accessory, and 2 standard controllers. All of this is pictured in the commercial that marked Nintendo's entry into the American market and advertised what would lead to their success. I'm doing this video as a quick way to repurpose an essay I had to write for class analyzing an advertisement. We were allowed to choose any advertisement we want, so I chose Nerd Things. In all seriousness, I did want to analyze the first commercial for the Nintendo Entertainment System because it's a very interesting piece of history. And not just video game history, but history in general. I mean, Mario is an absolute icon to society, and he's not in this commercial. That's right. There's no Mario to be seen in the first NES ad, and we're going to take a look at that. We are going to take a look at the ad that marked Nintendo's entry into the video game industry in the United States in the home market. And not only does it mark that, but it marks the saving of the American video game industry. Without this, we may not have gotten Call of Duty. Okay, so maybe that's a bad example, but I still think this ad is incredibly important from a historical perspective. So, we're gonna watch the ad, and then we're gonna analyze it. This is the first commercial for the Nintendo Entertainment System.
Will you be the one to witness the birth of the incredible Nintendo Entertainment System? The one to play with Rob, the extraordinary video robot, batteries not included. He helps you tackle even the toughest challenge. Will you be the first to raise the incredibly accurate Zapper and play games like Duck Hunt or action-packed Hogan's Alley and high-flying Kung Fu, each sold separately? Will you be the one to experience the Nintendo Entertainment System? Comes with Rob, Zapper, Control Deck, 2 controllers, Gyromite, and Duck Hunt.
Well, that certainly was a commercial. I'd like to thank the YouTube channel Kirk's Computers for uploading this archive of the commercial, because they're who I got this from. But my gosh, is this compressed. I mean, not only is this already through a VHS filter, but there's like, what, 4 pixels on screen right now? I mean, you can barely read the text, but of course this video was posted a decade ago, so we'll cut them a little slack. And no, I could not find another upload of this specific commercial. Although other NES commercials reused the footage from this one, which is smart, but it does make it a little frustrating when you're looking through NES commercials and you keep seeing commercials with better looking footage, but not the same footage in the same order that you need it. And good luck finding the audio. This commercial does everything that it needs to do. It advertised the NES as a toy, and not just a toy, but an elusive toy. This was a thing that you had to have just to crack the mystery as to what exactly it was. I mean, it gives you a lot, especially for the price tag. I mean, they really had to emphasize that this was the new thing that everyone would want. And fortunately for them, everyone did want it. You'll notice the games shown in this ad were Gyromite, Duck Hunt, Hogan's Alley, and Kung Fu. Gyromite and Duck Hunt were sold with this specific bundle of the system, but you'll notice that Super Mario Bros. Is weirdly absent. If you're mildly interested in video game history, then you'll know about the Super Mario Bros. Duck Hunt combo cartridge, which was sold with most Nintendo Entertainment Systems, but not this one. It makes a little bit of sense. I mean, the Game Boy was going to be bundled with Super Mario Land before Nintendo was convinced to bundle it with Tetris. Super Mario Land would have helped it to appeal to kids, but Tetris would have helped it to appeal to everybody. And this was trying to do its own thing. The Nintendo Entertainment System was selling itself as a toy, and you're more likely to spend this much on a toy that comes with a robot and a light gun than a toy that comes with a light gun and the guy from Donkey Kong. Not to mention, Duck Hunt, the game, is actually based on one of Nintendo's old toys. They sold a real-life version of this that really was a light gun, as in it shot the actual light it saw projected onto a wall, rather than the light from a television set. This commercial is so important. Nintendo's Trojan horse works. The Nintendo Entertainment System was Nintendo's best-selling video game console for so long, until it got beaten by the Game Boy and Game Boy Color, and then later the Wii, and now the Nintendo Switch is, at the moment, the 3rd best-selling video game system of all time. At least at the moment this is recording. I don't know what it'll be like by the time you're watching this video. Not only am I analyzing the commercial, but I'm analyzing the games too. That's right, I've played all of these games on original hardware, no less. So I played the original NES at a friend's house. It was his dad's and it had this Mario sticker on it. It was fun. Unfortunately, it did end up breaking due to age, but they were able to fix it by cleaning out the connection points with some cleaning solution and a Q-tip. I only played one of the 4 games advertised here on it, but that one was Duck Hunt. And it was great. I had a really fun time shooting the ducks and trying to get the high score. In fact, I still had fun when I played it on my own system and when I played it again on the Wii U Virtual Console. Although on the Wii U Virtual Console, there's an aiming reticle. Same with Hogan's Alley and one other Zapper series game from this era, Wild Gunman. And personally, while I think that's great for, you know, something like this, it's not the same. Kung Fu is a fine game. It's a port of the arcade game Kung Fu Hero, and it's It's fine. I'm not going to compare the NES version to the arcade version. The arcade version is obviously more impressive graphically and sound-wise, but the NES version is quite serviceable. I think it's fine. I think it's one of the more iconic NES games. Like, a lot of people are going to recognize this guy. If they put him in Smash Bros., I'm sure a lot of the 50-year-olds would go, woo! It's a little difficult. I don't think I ever got past the third stage. And even then, it's kind of weird from a gameplay perspective because it's not like Double Dragon where you're going around to different screens beating people up. You're walking in a straight line in a side-scrolling sense, just punching and kicking various waves of people. It's weird. I don't even know why you have a jump option. It's not like there's any platforming, at least not in the parts that I played. Hogan's Alley is so fun. I think the Zapper games are great. I could probably play them forever, and it's just, it's incredible. Hogan's Alley has this cool can shooting minigame, and it's great. And actually, I've been to shooting ranges that use cutouts like this. Not specifically detailed ones, they're just silhouettes basically, but it's pretty similar to the one I used when I was firing with an M9. I think it's a really neat recreation, and I think it's fun for a video game. I think Hogan's Alley really benefits from the fact that you're using an actual light gun as opposed to just playing with a controller. Duck Hunt is the same way, although I feel Duck Hunt would be better played with a rifle, since I think that's what most people hunt ducks with and not a pistol. Then there's Gyromite, which I have played before, and it is fun if you have another person to play with and riff off of. Even when you are using Rob the Robot, it's fun to just make jokes about it, about how slow it is. Gyromite, I think, would be a great co-op puzzle-solving game, but it's not really a great game the way it was intended to be played with Rob the Robot. I'm not saying Rob the Robot is worthless. I am certainly not saying that. I spent about $100 getting one myself, but I don't know. Rob is a neat little part of history and is certainly a big reason as to why people bought the NES. Seriously, when they play tested this thing and they took surveys with the kids, a lot of them said that the reason that they would recommend the NES to a friend would be because of the robot. Mario definitely ran with the NES, but Rob walked for Mario to be able to run. And I think that is really what's important here. Nintendo's Trojan horse worked. They were able to get the NES into homes, they were able to become a household name, they were able to create many great games. Such great games that now I have their most recent system, the Nintendo Switch. We could play such amazing games like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. It's supposed to be right there. I'll have to look for it later. Anyway, all of this is to say, the products in this commercial still hold up if you can find ones that still work after almost 40 years. And they're definitely worth playing and using and preserving for the history books. This is my Indiana Jones moment. I think this deserves to be in a museum. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm done metaphorically going back to the past, and I'm gonna start literally doing it. Ha-ha! Yes! I've hacked time!